Okay, so good morning all of you students. So this is the part 2 for chapter 5. Okay, double entry system. This is the part 2 for chapter 5, that is for class 11 accountancy students. Okay, so you can continue with this. So in the previous class I have explained till the types of accounts and what is double entry system and what are the characteristic features of double entry system, and we were going through the real, nominal and personal accounts. Okay, and we have explained everything. Now we are going to jump into the golden rule, the golden rule of accountancy. There are certain golden rules of accountancy which are the most important pillars of accountancy. You have to understand and you have to learn it by heart, so that you don't make mistakes while you are recording the transactions of business organizations. Okay, so there are 3 golden rules of accountancy, namely according to the properties of the accounts, okay, or the types of account. On the basis of the types of account, the golden rule changes. Like for the first one, the personal account. What is the golden rule for personal account? Whenever you are recording a person or a company's name, a person's name, or your representative accounts like outstanding salaries, outstanding rent, all those things, when you are recording all those things, what is the golden rule for that? It is debit the receiver, credit the giver. Okay, whoever is the person who is on the receiving side means in the form of cash or money. Whoever is the person on the receiving side, that comes on the debit side of your account. Okay, debit the receiver. Whoever is receiving, it is debited, and credit the giver, and you would be crediting that person who is giving that amount of money or whatever it is being paid. Okay, so debit the receiver, credit the giver, it is for the personal account. Okay, now going on to the second one, that is the real accounts. What is the golden rule for real accounts? Real accounts in which your tangible and intangible real accounts come. That is your intangible real accounts, all the assets and properties come, like land, building, furniture, stock, machinery, all those things. And intangible real accounts, your come goodwill, patents, copyrights, all those things comes in the intangible real accounts. Means it can be said as assets also, but generally it is said as properties. What is the golden rule for that? Debit what comes in and credit what goes out. Okay, whatever is coming inside the business, whether the goodwill is coming, assets is coming, machinery is coming, land is coming, building is coming, patent is coming, whatever is coming in the business organization, you should debit that. Okay, and whatever is going out of the business organization, you will be crediting that thing. Okay, it can be land, machinery, stock, whatever is going out of the business organization, your business organization, you would be crediting that thing. So debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Okay, now the third one is the nominal account. I have mentioned over here also, you can see over here, debit the receiver, credit the giver, debit what comes in, credit what goes out. You will be getting the picture of the board also properly, or you would be getting in chapter 5, page number 5.5. okay, if you are following the book. Nominal account. In nominal account, all those uh, types of account in which expenses, losses, gains, everything is recorded properly. Okay, so rent account, commission account, interest received, all those accounts come in the nominal account. All those types of general accounts come in the nominal account. What is the golden rule for nominal account? Debit all expenses and losses. Debit all expenses and losses means on the debit side of our account, all the expenses and losses will be recorded. Any type of expense, rent paid, salaries paid, whatever paid. Okay, or losses, if you are bearing any loss in a certain transaction, it will be recorded on the debit side for nominal accounting. And credit all incomes and gains, and all the incomes and gains of the business organization will be recorded on the credit side of your account. Okay, this is for the golden rule for the nominal account. So there are 3 golden rules for your personal, real and nominal account. So learn it by heart. Debit the receiver, credit the giver, debit what comes in, credit what goes out, debit all the expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. Okay, this is the golden rule for your accounting system. So you have to learn that thing. And now moving on to the next part, it is the advantages and disadvantages of your double entry system. What are the different advantages of double entry system? There are mainly 5 to 10. So let us complete. Number 1, complete record of transaction. The advantage, I am first talking about the advantage of the double entry system. It completely records the business transactions. The business transactions are recorded in a complete form, complete manner. Number 2, it is a scientific system, scientifically proven system that it is a correct system, and you will be getting the correct answers also at the end. That is why it is a scientific system also. Number 3, information about different accounts. In double entry system, you will be getting separate information about the different accounts of your business organization. Okay. Number 4, information about the financial position. The information about the financial position of a business organization by the help of double entry system is more reliable than any other method of recording of transactions. Okay. Number 5, facility of adjustments. Double entry system gives you a facility of adjustment also, in which in other entry system, in other recording transaction system, it doesn't give you that facility. Okay, if any mistake you have done, adjustment means I am telling you that if any mistake you have done in accounting in the previous year, previous month, it can be adjusted or corrected, rechecked, recalculated properly. Okay, and it gives you a certain adjustment policy also, adjustment place also, where the mistakes can be adjusted properly. Number 6, less chances of fraud and mistakes. Double entry system, by mistake you can make a mistake, but it gives you less chance of making mistakes and less chance of making any fraud. Nobody can fraud with the double entry system. Okay. Number 7, check of arithmetical accuracy. Double entry system can be checked by arithmetical accuracy. Okay, means arithmetically the accuracy of calculating the double entry system is almost 100% correct. Okay, almost 99.9% correct. It always comes. Number 8, comparative study is possible. It becomes very easy for business organization to study comparatively from one business organization to other business organization, or from one year to another year. It is comparing the double entry system is very easy. Okay. Number 9, preparation of final accounts. In double entry system, when we are preparing the final accounts, that is the balance sheet, trial balance and the balance sheet at the end of the year, it becomes more easier and more reliable, we can say. Okay, because whenever you are getting the debit and credit both sides in the double entry system, you place it properly in your final accounts also. Okay. Number 10, reliable and accurate books of accounts. Double entry system gives you a reliable and accurate books of accounts. Number 11, suitable for all types of businessmen. Double entry system is suitable for all types of businessmen, not only for very big organization or small organization or medium sized organization, or like industries or manufacturing or agriculture sector. Which industry it is going, it doesn't matter. It fits everywhere and it is helpful to every type of business organization and every type of businessman. Okay. Now, what are the disadvantages of double entry system? The last topic of this chapter. Disadvantages of double entry system. Number 1, I am talking expensive system. Double entry system is an expensive system because it takes a lot of effort and lot of time and lot of paperwork, and or generally nowadays we are not doing on the paper but computers, on the computer work. So work increases in double entry system. In single entry system, which I was discussing in the previous chapter, in the single entry system, only the single side is prepared. If single side is prepared, the half work is done, and if you are preparing the double sided, the work becomes double straight away. So if the work becomes double, it is more expensive, more time consuming, then more expensive. Okay. Number 2, accounting errors. Under double entry system, we can check only the arithmetical accuracy of accounts by preparing a trial balance. Many accounting errors like errors of commission, errors of omission, errors of principal and errors of compensating errors may remain despite the agreement of the trial balance. Okay. In double entry system, we can only, I have told you that we can adjust certain errors or mistakes. Okay. We can adjust or check certain mistakes in our accounts only on the basis of the arithmetical numbers. Okay, if one side is coming proper numbers and one side is not coming, then we can check. But errors of omission doesn't comes over here. Okay, errors of commission doesn't comes over here. Like errors of omission means what? Like one transaction took place in the business organization and you have not recorded only that transaction. That is omitting. Omitting means you have left that transaction only and you have not recorded in the books of accounts. So this is error of omission. If it is not recorded, it will be not showing in the balance sheet also. Nowhere it will be showing. Okay, so this type of errors are not taken consideration in the double entry system. Number 3, need practical knowledge and expertise. For doing double entry system, you should be properly trained in double entry system and you should be well versed and well educated in double entry system. Otherwise, nobody can do the double entry system. Okay, so for that you have to study properly the double entry system so that you can become an accountant in the future course of time. So that is the 3 mainly the disadvantages of this chapter, double entry system, and the chapter finishes over here. And now certain exercise question answers are given over here. You can complete it on your own. Certain answers are also given at the back of the book only. Okay, so you can check your answers over there. And now, so that is all for now for this chapter, and after this we are going to deal with the chapter that is journal. Okay, chapter 8. We are going to deal with chapter 8 in the next class. That is all for now. Thank you.